Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers! Tiki here!
And Blue Dragon 5.
And everybody hold your Johnny Walkers! We got a new MCU trailer! Alright, Dragon, so say... Oh god, you're gonna have to help me out here. I've been hearing...
Shang-Chi. Okay, say
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
Shung. Is that
That's
right?
how the guy...
Shung?
Shang. No, just Shang.
Shun. Okay.
Shang-Chi.
Oh god, this is gonna be like a Caballero situation.
Okay, so that's the way the actor says, I'm going to take it to be true. Okay,
Okay.
Shang-Chi.
Okay, and The Legend of the Ten Rings. We're gonna do a shot-by-shot breakdown, Dragon. Just to quickly get it out of the way with my thoughts, I think this trailer is really well executed. I don't necessarily think it gives us a ton to go off of, but you know what? Sometimes that's what the best teaser trailers kind of do. I absolutely think that with the Mandarin of it all, we've definitely got some meat to chew on. The Asian representation in this looks great. I'm stoked for like an all Asian MCU movie. I just think I feel like every person in this is kind of like adding their own sort of flavor to it. I kind of very much have the feeling that this is going to kind of be the Black Panther of that demographic, and I'm stoked for that. Really quickly, Dragon. Before I get into your thoughts, I just want to know. I'm curious. Do you know the backstory behind how the actor got cast?
No, I don't.
Oh man, okay. Um, Hold on. I'm going to I'm gonna look it up and because it's a specific tweet. And while I'm doing that, you give us your general thoughts.
Right. So yeah, Shang-Chi. I think this trailer is a great sell for a relatively unknown entity. That's it's gonna kind of be the MCU going forward. It's going to be really big with the MCU going forward. It's going to be kind of tone setting. I feel this and Eternals are going to be the ones where we're approaching this without a safety net. I mean, basically the only you have the sell of like, hey, it's connected to the MCU, but again, very very different ball game than what we've had before, which potentially could take us back to sort of that kind of that make or break film mindset of the MCU way back in Phase One, where it's very much like, okay, well these are very kind of these are very kind of a different group of heroes, and they're inhabiting the same world, but we're kind of taking them on their own merits. And again, it's kind of like a blank canvas to start with Phase Four in a certain respect. Now I know obviously there's a bit of a sell. There's a bit of a big connective thing with Shang-Chi for sure. I get that. We'll talk about that. Let me put it this way, folks. I'm going for the Mandarin, but I'm hopefully staying for Shang-Chi. I think the trailer seems to be indicating, yeah, I think you're going to want to stay for Shang-Chi. I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to be good.
And welcome to Atomic Beast in the comments. And yes, we're absolutely talking about the Iron Man villain. We'll get into it when we get into the shot by shot for sure. Dragon, unfortunately, I can't find the exact tweet, but this guy literally got cast based on a tweet. He pretty much just made just a super heartfelt sort of direct call out to Marvel. I mean, he is, it's not like he's totally unknown. He's done some stuff, but he just kind of wrote to Marvel via tweet and sort of just very very earnestly called out like just how much of a fan he is of the character, how much the character means to him personally, how much the character means to the Asian community as a whole and Asian representation. And that is basically what got him cast, Dragon, because Marvel kind of looked at that and it's one of those things where they're like, well, God, it's like no one really we'd be hard pressed to find someone who really gets this character and embodies it in his bones more than this guy does. This guy, he basically got the role through the power of his sheer fandom for the character, Dragon.
That is insane. That never happens.
I know. I love it because he is, like I said, it's not like this is the first thing he's ever done, but he's pretty much an unknown.
Well, again, it's good to hear that sort of thing because again, it's been ages since we've subscribed to the old kind of superhero casting method that worked wonders back in the day, where you cast the unknowns or the young up and comers, and they do wonders. I mean, Christopher Reeve, for example, very much an unknown at the time, and of course became the icon. He became that character. He just, in so many ways. And I mean, in terms of up and comer, I mean, I know he had a name for himself, but a little bit of Chadwick Boseman. There's using the Black Panther comparison from earlier. Again, these guys who are just kind of like, again, they're not quite tied down to like, like, oh yeah, he's from that or he's from that. It's quite big, so it's quite promising. Also, we have Jedi Knight in the comments. Hello.
Yeah, hey there, Jedi Knight. We can see you. I don't know why you're indicating the question in your comment, but yes, I can see you. Hello.
Don't critique the man's grammar.
It's all good.
He's
all right.
curious, as are we all, with the speculations that are going to unfold in this little discussion of ours.
Hey, Dragon. Hey, Dragon. Hey, Dragon.
What?
I think the Mandarin is Mephisto. I'm just kidding.
This is the world we live in now, folks. Welcome to it. Oh yeah, so Atomic Beast weighs in with something. I always love it. Atomic Beast has some of the great insights. We gotta read this. Atomic Beast says, I think this is a major step for the MCU. While the MCU has explained to a cosmic scale, has expanded to a cosmic scale, but to have different heroes from other nations makes it feel like how big the world is, even if it's a smaller scale. Which, yes, that's a great way of looking at it. I mean, this one very much about the personal struggle. That's the thing. Shang-Chi very much kind of in that it's an intimate story, and that he was. It's so funny when you really think about the Marvel Universe at large. And I'm not saying, like, I know we have Hawkeye and everything, but I mean, for the most part, rarely do you have a Marvel hero that is without powers, if you really think about it. So rarely. I mean, Shang-Chi essentially the most close to that powers that he gets is has a mastery over chi, which is essentially, it's kind of what Iron Fist does, but like not as flashy and glowy. Just
Jedi Knight, it's all good. You're not late at all because we haven't.
Yeah, we haven't even started the break.
Yeah, we haven't even started the shot by shot, so it's all good. You're right on time.
Yeah, you're right on time. Yeah, old sir.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so without further ado, Dragon, do you want to just dive right into it?
Well, I'm going to preface all this with just the one thing, and we'll move on. We'll dive right into it. Is that folks? So when it comes to Shang-Chi, I don't have a mastery over him. I kind of keep Shang-Chi with this movie and just Shang-Chi in general. I'm kind of at arm's length, and that I know a little bit. I know very surface level stuff, and I guess I was a little bit more on the Iron Fist side of things than Shang-Chi in terms of like the stuff to know. So I'm really going into this one quite blind, but I got some rudimentary stuff, and obviously the most I'm going to know about this is the stuff in regards to our villain of the piece. So that's going to be fun,
right?
And again, like the whole unknown Marvel entity, everyone's going to have some expectations with the Mandarin, but I don't know how many Shang-Chi fans there really are. So this is going to be interesting.
Also, I just want to point out, Dragon, our dear friend Jacob Gulliver of Hot Chocolate Media. He very much wanted to be here tonight. He was just super busy. But Dragon, he is stoked for it. I believe, I'm pretty damn sure he's a fan of the character himself in the comics.
I don't doubt it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I think he might have mentioned that once. Yeah.
And so rest assured, folks, if you want to know Gulliver's opinions, I mean, granted, I'm sure, there's a chance he probably talks about it on hotchocolatemedia.net. So, by all means, don't skimp out on the man's own content. But he will be on next week at a date to be determined to talk the full spoiler cast breakdown for Falcon and Winter Soldier, going episode by that. And rest assured, when he's on, we'll be sure to just get his takes on this trailer. So just a little self-promotion for future content there, Dragon. This podcast is sponsored by ourselves.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. You wanna address this, the difference between Chinese and Middle Eastern culture, Dragon? Do you know anything about this?
Okay, so he's referring to Aldrich Killian, the actual the in quotes actual Mandarin that we had in Iron Man 3. I guess,
right.
I guess Killian couldn't tell the difference between Chinese and Middle Eastern culture. Basically, in reference to he was kind of
he was
outside of
Middle Easterns. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, the idea is that the outside of the whole fortune cookie thing that we had with the Trevor Slattery Mandarin,
which
basically
is
the presentation
the best. That is the best Trevor Slattery Mandarin scene by a country mile.
It was great. I just love that line so much. The fortune cookies, it's a falsehood portrayed by America, and at least a bad taste in the mouth. Great, great stuff. But yeah, it's kind of like there was kind of a melding of the two. That was sort of the idea. It was sort of like a Middle Eastern kind of warlord with kind of a Chinese theme. That was kind of sort of that Mandarin's take, I suppose.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So Dragon, yeah, I think without further ado, let's just break down the trailer. So of course we start with some ominous thunderstorm shots. This very much, Dragon, another thing we should probably address up front because, we have covered Marvel MCU stuff. And, another, a less exciting bit of self-promotion here. We'll be covering Iron Fist Season 2 and the lead up to this. But, Dragon, this very much feels like course correction for Iron Fist.
For sure, because I mean,
this
again,
much has okay, like, sorry for Iron Fist, we're gonna do it right this time. This is what Iron Fist should have been like.
Yeah, Tiki, perhaps we should kind of expand our parameters at the moment.
Okay, you're right.
Okay, but yes, I mean, yeah, this is kind of the a lot of people very much like, oh yeah, you had your chance at Iron Fist and the more known entity, and we kind of blew it because we had to fill 13 episodes, and then by the time we shortened things, it was still too much.
You guys are talking to the studio where Guardians of the Galaxy is one of their most popular franchises, so I don't know what to tell you. The proper rules don't really apply to Marvel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, Iron Fist certainly with the Luke Cage role, certainly a go-to. I don't fault him for going
also,
there.
Dragon, just throwing it out there. Keep an eye on the comments. I'm not going to be able to pull them up because I've got this going, but just keep an eye on them. Shout anyone out if you see them.
Sure.
Okay. So.
Yeah, so yeah, you're right. This is definitely a kind of a step forward. And of course, we're kind of doing. It's like some people argue we're hitting similar beats, but again, there's definitely a big difference that
we're hitting similar beats, but in a much better way, and I see no problem with that.
Again, true, but also just the trail. I mean, I know it's not much, to say just by comparison, but it's
sure.
So this is a nice bit. So what we're kind of doing here is, we're starting off. We're having Wenwu, who is kind of essentially Wenwu is somewhat of an amalgam of two characters, which I'll get into once we talk about the head cheese himself.
Mm-hmm.
So he's having a conversation about presumably with his son Shang-Chi, and as we see here, I gave you 10 years to live your life. So I love that it's 10 years specifically for the 10 rings of it all. That's great and poetic.
Yeah. And I love that. That's a cool framing, Dragon. I like stories with time jumps in them, so that gets me excited. Just from a structural level.
I want to say the idea is, and I could be wrong here, but I'm pretty just looking at taking that line for its salt. Is that okay? So, he gets he's just the kid for 10 years, and age 10 he's training for 10 years, and then it's probably like another 10 years of just then that's like the 10-year break before you have to assume the mantle.
Yeah,
it's basically what we're seeing now with the ballet thing. I love the humble, like San Francisco-based Shang-Chi, where he's a ballet in San Francisco.
I'm excited about the San Francisco stuff. As a Bay Area resident, I can tell you that San Francisco has a very colorful and diverse Asian culture, and I'm really excited to see that portrayed on screen.
Makes me want to see. Yeah.
Do you know the song that's on the karaoke machine?
Do I know the song? If I'm
okay, you know it. Wrong. You know. All right. Yeah,
it's sure a part of your,
whole new world.
Whole new world.
Yeah. I totally missed it the first time, but you can clearly see over, sideways, and under. Which has me think, some people have speculated if Awkwafina is going to be the best friend or the love interest. She's got to be the love interest, with that, right?
Well, the bare minimum, she's going to be the friend, as I think we're seeing. Well, it could be like a Doctor Strange.
Or else they really, what would be funny is if they played it up like that they do have more of a brother-sister type dynamic, and people actively called out, why are you two singing that song, man? That's weird.
Well, two things. So one, funny with the Disney connection, because again, Awkwafina.
Yes.
Just funny playing.
Is this the first time that Disney movies have been directly addressed in the MCU?
No.
I didn't think so.
Going all the way back to Ultron. With Pinocchio, I got no strings.
Yeah, but that was so underwhelming in the movie itself compared to.
Well, fine. Even going back further, Obviously, there's a lot of Walt Disney and Iron Man too. I mean, with everything
All
but
right. I
name.
believe you. I believe you. I'm sure movie names are dropped. I'm sure. All right. Anyways,
Regardless, yeah. Also, but yeah, they could. It's funny with the San Francisco setting. I wonder if perhaps like Ant-Man 3, maybe Shang-Chi could have a cameo. I'm just
oh,
throwing it out
people are
there.
definitely speculating that for sure. Yeah.
That'd be fun. So yeah, Aquafina's Kathy might be like a Doctor Strange Christine relationship. Could be like a friendship.
I
Like
thought her name
like
was Katie. Her name's Kathy.
I don't. I when I looked it up, I thought I saw Kathy. I mean, I'm not. I think it's Kathy.
You might want to check that. I thought it was Katie with a Y.
You know,
Double check it just to make sure.
right? Aquafina. Oh yeah, no, you're right. It's Katie. Yeah, I
That's
hate.
what I thought. That's what
Why
I thought.
spell it with a Y?
I don't
Anyway,
know. It's unique.
all right. So Katie. The point being, Aquafina playing Katie. So again, it could be like a Christine relationship with Stephen Strange and his non-romantic lead. So it's entirely possible. I don't know. They seem like
Uh-huh.
like after work buddies, but I don't know. Something could
Or maybe
bloom,
they like had a relationship and now they're mutual friends, even
entirely
though they're broken
possible.
up. Yeah,
Again,
yeah,
kind
for
of like
sure.
Christine, could absolutely
Uh-huh.
possible. Of course, he's like,
But
what did you get from all this? Saying the father, yeah.
but yeah, this guy, by the way, I know the guy with the red hair. I know he has comedy specials on Netflix, and I want to look him up because I hear he's a really talented comedian.
Well, I know his character name is supposed to be John John, so that's
Uh-huh.
this is buddy Ronnie Cheng or something. Ronnie
Yeah,
Chen
Ronnie
is
Ching. Yeah.
yeah, is the actor's name. So yeah, so basically, as far as I can see, yeah, what did you get from all this? He's living a very modest life, given that his grandiose origins, it seems. And of course, speaking of grandiose origins, a little flashback
So this is the
picture
type
here.
of training in Iron Fist that we literally never saw.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we saw well, and you haven't gotten to it yet. Obviously, there's like really
Oh
one
yeah, you're right.
important.
I haven't
Yeah,
gotten to season 2, so
we
know
get
for
like one
sure.
at least one really important moment
All
in the
right, fair
flashback.
enough, fair
But
enough, fair enough.
outside
But
of that, though, just talking about the stuff though.
yes,
Yes, so our masked figure, Death Dealer.
I'm really digging the mask, by the way.
Oh yeah, very again a really better look for him too because he's
Kind of
had like
like
a
a
skull on
kabuki
his.
style almost.
Yeah, it's a little kind of blanking on the name, but from Big Hero 6, Callahan's character.
I don't know his name. I just call him. He's just Callahan.
Oh, Yokai, that's what it is. Yokai.
Okay, there you go.
But yeah, so the point being, yeah, the Kabuki looks a lot better in the comic. There's like a skull on his face with the whole death of it all. So this is I don't know.
Oh, that's.
The natural look. It looks really nice. I have some comments here. Let me read out some comments. All right.
Okay,
So,
yeah, go for it.
okay, let's see. So there's earlier some talk. Atomic Beast teed up the whole thing. I'm sure the Mandarin would give Killian a fate far worse than death for the Slattery fiasco. Now remember, kids, and I really want this to be like at least addressed somewhere in the movie, even if it's like a brief scene. Slattery was taken to the Mandarin.
Oh my god! If we get a Slattery cameo, I'm gonna lose it. Dragon.
I'm gonna be
gonna
disappointed if
lose it.
I will not be the only person disappointed if Ben Kingsley does not have at least a small cameo in this movie.
Just a small cameo. I just want to taste Dragon. I just want to taste
Because that was a massive
around.
that All Hail the King short was a massive that pleased everybody. It was the whole thing of like, yeah, we had our Mandarin and we had our allegory for the Mandarin and everything. Then we have like a little PS which is now being paid off. We gotta pay off the PS, man. Come on.
Also, Dragon, I think it's worth stating for the record, you and I, we're both big fans of Trevor Slattery. Mandarin, we both think that worked really well in the context of the movie.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, in context. Honestly, some would say too well, but yeah.
Yeah. So, all right.
And see, Atomic Beast, in response to Atomic Beast Jedi Knight saying, "Poor Mandarin, the two people he was getting prepped to get revenge against were killed by somebody else. Such is life." Yep. Let's see. Oh, this is a neat idea. Jedi Knight suggesting maybe Shang-Chi could read people's chi and see if they're scrolls or not. That'd be great for Secret Invasion.
Yeah, that would definitely make him valuable to the Avengers for sure.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I could see him being like the Ant-Man of Avengers Secret Invasion or whatever it ends up being called.
It's just gonna be Secret Invasion, Tiki.
Oh, is it? So
Well, the
is it?
Disney Plus show is just called Secret Invasion, so just
Huh? But is it going to be like an Avengers level show, or is it? Now
well,
I'm
that's the
confused.
that's the thing we're speculating.
Because
All it is
because
going to
I
be a
already I already assumed that Secret Invasion was going to be like the next Avengers movie.
All I know is they announced Secret Invasion, assumably as a show led by Nick Fury, which implies
Hmm.
it'll be like the big building thing.
Interesting. Okay.
That'll be
Anyways.
like the big mixture between the film and the small screen. Anyway, yes. So also oh god, Jedi Knight just slattery skeleton can be seen.
Yes, and I'd be down for just that. Even just
If he's
that.
if he's in like if they put him in the costume as like a little like symbolic thing, it'd be
Right,
awesome.
right. Oh,
Just as a way of
God.
getting it in there. Oh my god, it'd be like the perfect like yeah, you don't mess with the Mandarin kids.
All
But
right.
yeah, so essentially, his father has trained Shang-Chi to be the ultimate living weapon of martial arts by Death Dealer, pretty much the top assassin, I'd assume.
Uh-huh.
Okay, here we go. So this is big. Okay, hold on. Go back to the walking shot.
Hold on. Say when. Right here?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so you're gonna see a little better later, I suppose, assuming that's him. But you'll notice that, Wen Wu here, he's got these bracelets on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those bracelets, I will bet you dollars to donuts, all the
Are the
donuts.
10 rings.
Yes, as in they changed the rings to bracelets, but they're still ring shaped, so they're still rings.
I could see that. I could see that. I'm not
So
going to
later on,
bet
we
my
see,
donuts, though, Dragon. I value my donuts too much. I value my donuts like Wacko Warner values his donuts.
right, yeah, the artisanal donuts.
Oh, Dragon, I went to Krispy Kreme and got a couple artisanal donuts the other day, and they were fucking magical.
Despicable.
Why is it despicable? Why is it despicable?
Is on brand or bust.
All right, what on with Krispy Kreme?
Well, I'm sorry, I'm a Duncan man at heart. That's why I'm being judgmental. But
Fuck Dunkin'.
yeah, we don't have time for this silly
No,
debate
you're
right
right.
now.
You're right. We really don't, but we could do a whole podcast about how much I dislike Dunkin' over other donut shops, anyways.
Duncan does it right. We don't have time. We don't have
Oh
time.
God.
Anyway, no, but seriously, here's the thing. I don't know. It's not a deal breaker. I don't know how I feel about the rings being changed, the bracelets. But again, just given the whole circular ring shape, I think it technically counts. And again, assuming they act as they act later in the trail, it seems like it should be fine.
Yeah,
Be a
and it
decent update.
definitely it visually distincts itself from Slattery Mandarin for sure.
Yeah, and I think it's absolutely has to be the intent. I'm
Uh-huh.
sure. So yeah, we're seeing again just the young buck just kind of going about becoming the master martial artist that he is. And also, you'll notice with this knife bit, he's being trained to be a killer, which is the big dividing line ultimately with Shang-Chi in the comic during his origin, which essentially this movie's repackaging in a really nice way. He actually killed a man before he turned into a good guy.
Hmm.
I don't think we're going to go that route necessarily. I'm not saying it's off the table though, so it'll be
I don't
interesting to
think it's
see.
off the table either, considering stuff
Yeah,
like
of
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
course.
Okay. I mean, just
Oh, this is
generally
great.
speaking, just it looks like just very, very good action. Cut from the same cloth as like an Ang Lee martial arts movie or something like that.
Yeah, this is awesome. He breaks the sword with his head like an actual blade with his head. I think
Uh-huh.
awesome. Yep. So of course he's trained him so he could the most dangerous people in the world wouldn't be able to kill him. I'm gonna do a little cage fight here, a little old school brawl. Prove the merit.
Yeah, and all of this really tracks with kind of like I said with the I can imagine I'm just kind of like plotting out the movie where I could imagine like the first part of the movie is him and his friends just hanging out. They have an idea to go to a cage match just to check it out. He ends up entering it. They see that he's like way stronger than they know him to be, and then they probably get into that bus incident. I don't know. I can see like the whole map of his character where they're kind of like slowly learning how powerful he is.
Sure.
All right.
Okay, here now we got to talk about the big thing here. So this
Oh
reveal was
boy,
really brand new to me. So let get to the money shot, Tiki.
money shot. Okay, right there.
When we see him in the oh there, yes, yes.
Yeah,
So
I mean, look at that. That looks like classic Mandarin right there.
exactly. So I went into the trailer not knowing that Wen Wu was necessarily going to be that the Mandarin was going to be his father, which I think is a
Oh,
genius idea.
right,
So let me
right. Yeah.
so let me tell you, this is important. Let me tell you about some with the Shang-Chi.
I think I know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
So in the comics, the way and again, basically this movie, with this my big takeaway with the trailer is that it seems that we've taken a great stab and a great updating of the Shang-Chi origin, which, as you can imagine, given the time it came out, a little outdated in big ways. I mean, in all sorts of ways. One of the ways being
Oh
Fu
boy.
Manchu.
Oh,
Okay,
oh, I didn't even
so
really want you to say the word, but
okay,
yeah.
I'm just gonna say I can say it here probably when we eventually talk about it another time. But okay, so the way it went, folks, is that Marvel way back in the day wanted the rights to the Kung Fu show, which now is currently being rebooted on the CW. Oddly enough,
On the C fucking W. Oh
well,
God.
there's an interesting reason why though. So Kung Fu, I want to say, was acquired by Warner Brothers, hence the reason Marvel could never get their hands on why it's on the CW now.
Yes.
Because of that, they tried to get their own equivalent of that. Hence, the Shang-Chi of it all, and I imagine Iron Fist as well around the time, just kind of with the whole kung fu craze of it all. But the point is, so they got licensed to other characters, which there was like a Doctor Fu Manchu from like a lot of '60s movies, and was very much parodied in a lot of spy stuff, like really offensively, as you can imagine. And Fu Manchu is being like kind of like the Emperor Ming sort of look.
Yeah,
With,
so I'm very glad they went away from that and with doing a more culturally relevant version of the Mandarin and making him his father, it kind of like kills two birds with one stone. It takes away the sort of cringy element of the comics and replaces it with like, okay, how do we work Mandarin into it? Well, there we go. We kind
and
of have
Tiki,
like a Darth Vader situation, except Luke knows that Vader's his father from the outset.
Jedi Knight, shares your sentiment. He says Shung is Luke and Mandy, just like shorthanding
Oh no, I mean
shorthanding.
I absolutely think it's very much kind of like a Luke Vader situation, except they're open about it. That's
Oh, so
that's very much the vibe I'm getting.
I love they shortened the Mandarin to Mandy. I think it's hilarious. Mandy is
Mandy,
Vader.
oh god, I love that.
That's great, but that's what I'm saying though. So it's again, it was just the genius, switch up of the father son relationship, which again is pretty much it's the same dynamic that they had in that comic, but now we've plus the Mandarin technically was influenced as well by the Fu Manchu character, so which always made the Mandarin a problem character and why it took so long to give him an Iron Man, as you can imagine.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, like in the recent comics, they melded those characters, so we kind of adapted that from like 2015 to here, and it just I did not know any of this was going on. I saw it made perfect sense. Like yes, we've just streamlined things so perfectly. We've made the background even more compelling and tying into like the big kind of the Marvel connection that we really have with the Mandarin. That's awesome. I
mhm.
love that. And it's just going to be this intimate father-son story about like you turning down the legacy of kind of a legacy of bloodshed. It's like that's
Totally,
great.
totally. All right,
Oh, they're the
so
rings. What we have right now, those are the rings.
yeah, and I just wanted to quickly point out: are those like giant? There's some sort of like giant furry creatures in the background, out of focus. Can you
Well,
see them?
I can tell you what those are, Tiki.
Okay, please
Those
do, please
are
do.
okay. So those essentially they're like giant stone lions, but those lions have a name. They are called foo dogs.
Huh? Okay.
So Foo Dogs, it's here's the thing. It's funny. My when I heard the name Foo Dogs, it was like, oh yeah, I know. I've seen a parody of that in American Dragon. Jake Long, the Disney show. His main sidekick was John DiMaggio voicing this like almost like a Shar-Pei, like a pug or something. I don't know. He's
Mhm.
like oh with like the flabby face, and his name was Foo Dog. So it's a little reference to it's like kind of an old guardian idea. Like a guardian of of a Chinese manor, a Chinese like a palace, I suppose.
Gotcha. All right, so this is a cool shot right here with the water. I've heard that the character opposite of Aquafina in this shot is supposed to be kind of like a Talia al Ghul style character. Am I
Okay,
right
I'm
about
so
that?
glad you brought that up because here's my thing with the Mandarin. In a perfect world, it would be so interesting if if the Mandarin framed himself as a Ra's al Ghul figure, and you know me, that'd delight me to no end if that's how this Mandarin just kind of like viewed himself, that he's trying to do something for the betterment of the world, and his whole legacy. He wants like kind of like almost like Ra's wanting Batman to to become his heir. He wants his own son to become his heir, and uh, Shang-Chi does have a sister. And that sister is going to be this movie. I assume the sister may be on the villainous side. She's very much a daddy's girl. So
Mm-hmm.
so I think you're right on the money with that. The one with the short hair, I think.
All right. I mean, I know nothing about the character. I just keep hearing the Talia comparison, like in the from people who actually
I
know
just
what
like that we're getting the
I'm
Ra's
talking
al
about.
Ghul comparison because I really hope
Yeah,
it kind of goes that way.
yeah.
Just with the way we're framing everything, you're kind of the Luke Vader or like just the whole father son kind of strife of it all. Okay, now this sequence here, I got a theory about this sequence.
Okay.
So two things. One, I think the fight between him and Death Dealer at this moment in the film is like the Act 2 encounter.
I could see that.
Like I imagine Death Dealer's like, okay, flashbacks kind of interspersed through Act 1, and that's how we get him like introduced. Then of course a little showdown here before we're in like costumes and everything with Shang-Chi. Then
Sure.
Act 3 is the big showdown. If I was like kind of play it by kind of by the book. Now the other thing is I think this might be Madripoor.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up because that was another theory I heard kind of going around. And yeah, if that's the case, Dragon, I'm kind of stoked. Like I'm stoked that the MCU is kind of very much committed to going this global scale that we saw kind of hinted at with Falcon Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah, and again, it makes interesting. Some of the Shang-Chi characters have been in like Madripoor, which makes I mean, one of the guys later, he's like a direct guy from Madripoor, so that's why I brought it up. It kind of clicked. I kind of linked the two together. It's like, yeah, I mean, essentially, Madripoor is very Hong Kong-esque, and I don't know, it's like just seeing kind of like I don't know, the neon and everything. It could be Hightown in Madripoor for all we know, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that for sure.
Be really cool and a way of connecting our shows and such, which is pretty much the whole point of this whole Disney Plus venture. Which why not?
Hold on.
It's really cool action going on, as you can see.
Hold on. There's an Easter egg in this sequence somewhere. Sorry, hold on.
Jedi Knight brings Jedi Knight here. He brings up. So when will Shang Chi meet the Big Hero 6? I mean, in a perfect world, Jedi Knight, but I think they've drawn the line in granite that no, Big Hero 6 will not be in live action, will not be in the MCU. Ain't gonna happen.
All right, yeah. I saw an Easter egg, Dragon. I'm not sure exactly where it is in the trailer, though. If we get to it, I'll bring it up. Anyways,
Right. Yeah, I tried looking up some of these other people that Shang-Chi's fighting. I don't know who this lady is in the hat, or
it
who this
just looks.
person is.
I don't even really care who it is. It just looks like very fluid. All this action. Like I said, it's specifically like Crouching Tiger style. Like, maybe not necessarily the urban stuff, but definitely when they're out in the open, like that. That is very Crouching Tiger.
The combat looks great, right? I mean, that's obviously a big thing for very many of the Iron Fist detractors, saying, "Look at how amazing it is compared to
Right, right.
compared to all the choppy edits on Iron Fist."
I'm gonna go through this one more time and see if I can spot this Easter egg. Oh God.
So again, that also says the text is kind of popping up there. It's like in Shang-Chi, very much so. He's definitely not feeling again, the big revelation in the origin is that he realized his father was a bad person. That's when he rebelled against him. And basically, in the link up, that's the Shang-Chi origin, as outdated as it may be, it's like it started off really great structurally. Is that he's fighting his father, and then we flash back to reveal why he's fighting his father and fighting his father's forces. Which again, just seeing all the people he's fighting in this trailer, it would indicate to me like, yeah, we're kind of following the blueprint of that origin, which is really cool.
Again, the reason I'm going through this sequence over and over, I did see someone point it out, and I'm not sure exactly where it is, but you can see what looks like a Captain America shield spray painted onto a wall, and I think it's somewhere in this building. And people have speculated that it's specifically John Walker's shield.
Which would explain your whole Johnny Walker thing at the top.
Well, no, the Johnny Walker thing at the top is like just I don't know. That's just like get your drink. I don't know, but yeah. Anyways, oh
Anyway,
god, that just looks so fucking cool, man.
It does. Now this, I wonder if this is is maybe a flashback. Here's the cool thing about the Mandarin. I don't know if you knew about this. Mandarin descended, like many people, from Genghis Khan.
Oh, okay.
So I wonder if perhaps we're going to see a flashback to maybe plus it seems to be the idea, and again the way they're kind of skirting past some of the Mandarin stuff on the Grand Hole is that Mandarin is a legacy character, much like sometimes some interpretations of Ra's al Ghul, like the name gets passed down. Like if our Ra's al Ghul dies, and he would pass on the Batman, taking on the mantle of the demon's head. So in that case, Shang-Chi would adopt the name of the Mandarin. So perhaps Genghis Khan would just the original birth was became the Mandarin. It just kind of got passed down. Just so I don't forget about it, with the Mandarin's rings.
Yeah.
With the Mandarin's rings, I felt so the Mandarin's rings have an alien origin to them, and I wondered, given where we're at now in the MCU, if we're going to go full tilt and actually address, like, yeah, it's alien technology that we now have access to, given that we're at that point in the MCU, we're basically there's like a crashed alien craft, and he kind of formulated that into weapons, and he actually built a palace out of the alien ship.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like you said, we're very much there in the continuity.
Yeah, I mean, okay, well, real quick before I get into the other part I was going to bring up there, let's talk about this guy. I got Razor Fist, man,
Yeah.
freaking Razor. So he was the Madripoor guy. I was hyping up earlier. So yeah, this guy.
Gotcha.
I'd be shocked if he had never had a run-in with Iron Fist in the comics. By the way, I'd be shocked.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this guy looks awesome, doesn't he?
So I can imagine that this guy is maybe like was sent by his father to get him.
Yeah, unequivocally. Too. That's what I'm saying. I think a lot of these fights are pretty much like his father's sending people out.
Hence them kind of being in that urban environment still. And this is like my favorite action beat in the trailer, honestly, is, just everything here is fantastic. But
there's the Genghis Khan flashback I'm talking about here. This is particularly like that old school, like daytime look.
Right. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm going through like YouTube, like when I just like press back lightly, it goes back way too far. I'm sorry about that. But all this stuff right here.
Yes. Jedi Knight points out, like, what if Mandy is immortal and met Genghis himself? Which, I mean, that's another way of going about it, too. Maybe making Mandy immortal.
I don't know. I mean, I could see that as a plot point. I don't know if they go as far as to, like, specifically cast someone as Genghis Khan, but
yeah,
it'd be interesting, though. Okay, this right here is my favorite action beat. Just that. Wow. Great synergy.
Well, I'm not just trying to throw shade here, but I mean, just saying, it seems like this could be an even cooler fight than we got in the Captain Marvel.
Let's see that. Let's see that one more time. Let's see that one more time, Dragon. All right, you ready? You ready?
Yeah.
Bam! Bow! It's so satisfying.
If nobody left us with
one more time. I could just watch that over and over. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If nobody left us with anything, it's a greater appreciation of bus fights. Let's be honest.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. I mean,
the only valid thing in that bus scene was Stan Lee, Dragon.
True, yeah. Well, that and punching an old lady in the face, like a Skrull old lady in the face.
Yeah, you're right. That was fun.
I don't want to start shit. That bus scene was actually good, but this seems like a lot cooler.
Like, by comparison, it was one of the better scenes in that movie, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Before we got into the whole, like, who is Carol Danvers?
Oh god,
like the Captain Marvel fish out of water. Like, hey, let's go.
I got to admit, there's so many parts of the who is Carol Danvers mystery of that movie that just totally just blur together in my mind.
Okay, but see this? He's doing the money shot here too. So this is the iconic fighting pose of Shang-Chi that he's about to strike here. It's like,
it's cool that he's going into a San Francisco tunnel, man. That's very on point with the location. There's a lot of tunnels in San Francisco.
You'll notice Shang-Chi here. He's wearing this he's kind of wearing the red sleeves on his jacket there. Shang-Chi, the posters have shown this, and I'm glad we got to see it just in the posters too. Is that he wears a red outfit traditionally in the comics and everything, and sometimes it gets a lot. Basically, it's a cooler version of the outfit. So I like that we're giving him red as like a stationary color in these big iconic scenes. That's really cool. I love this. I love the. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I've heard other people compare this scene to kind of like a Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock Speed moment, and I kind of agree. It's got that same sort of vibe.
Certainly. So I love in this little speed moment here. I love him saving the passengers, falling out of the bus. That's awesome. There's
Uh-huh.
my guy.
Uh-huh.
That's a guy I can get behind right there. Look at him save those people. Yeah, Shang-Chi. Yeah, save those people and punch the guy with the
I
rings. You
also
can do
like
it.
how the bus is literally just going to California. I don't know. Just as a Californian, that's kind of funny.
I would love if there's a post-credit scene where just kind of just casually runs into Ant-Man. That'd be awesome.
Oh, dude. Like, honestly, if they don't have some sort of Ant-Man reference, I feel like they'd kind of, it'd be a missed opportunity for continuity because they set up that Ant-Man resides in San Francisco. So, I don't know.
Okay, before we
You
get
know
out
what
of
would be
here,
amazing?
yeah.
Because we have the Hank Pym, the giant food stuff at California Adventure opening in June. What if we got a reference to like Hank Pym's just like experimenting with giant food now? He's kind of laying low and doing fun experiments,
Be
and
fun.
that would tie in directly to Avengers Campus.
Hmm.
All right. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
So one last thing I want to get in there too. Just again, assuming we go in a perfect world, let's say we go full tilt with the Mandarin alien technology and it's kind of the alien ship stuff. I would be amazed if one of the let's say the Mandarin's endgame plot, like usually it's like outside the air thing, there might be a plot, which they don't run this way. We don't necessarily have to go like big sky beams or anything. I don't want that, but what I'm saying is, a lot of the time, the Mandarin is linked with a character that is like kind of been too big for Marvel in the past. Fin Fang Foom, giant like alien dragon being.
Oh God.
So I'm not saying we do Fin Fang Foom here, but I'm saying what if we set that up as like we reveal in like a post credit or an end credit thing? Like, okay, that's what he was building towards. Like that's like the full alien ship. Like let's say even if we just skirt around it, we set the rings are alien technology by the end. It's like, hey, this is what he's been building to. Like he's going to bring about maybe the end of the world via Fin Fang Foom. I think that as this big old end game for future movies or future stories. I think that'd be cool. But
I could see it.
just throwing it out there.
All right. Okay, so final thoughts on my end, folks. I am very excited, and God willing, things keep going in a positive direction. I'm a little concerned, but we'll see where it goes. And I'm actually able to see this in theaters because I'm optimistic about it. It looks like a fun ride. I'm way more excited about it than I am for Black Widow. I'll say that much. Not don't get me wrong. Black Widow looks the second trailer for Black Widow showed more promise. I'm still, I'm looking forward to that, but this just feels new in a way that Black Widow doesn't feel new. So,
Well, to be fair, Black Widow's had an uphill battle in all the postponements and everything. Cut it a break.
yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Oh God.
You'd be more excited had it come out on time like last year. I think you might be a little bit more.
You know what?
excited.
Honestly, even if it came out last year, I wasn't really vibing with it. I gotta tell you, like I don't know. But so what if Fing Fang Foom was a chef at Avengers Campus?
That'd be a really Avengers Campus would have to be huge for that.
Yeah,
to work.
that would be a massive animatronic. All right. Okay, so so just needless to say, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a cool step into kind of like the more mystical territory with the MCU while still keeping some of its urban roots. Definitely shows a lot of promise.
I like that, without it being like overly splashy. I love that this trailer gave us like a core story element that's all I needed really to wrap my mind around. And also, you have like the cool kind of martial arts spectacle, but I mean, just that ingenious, like, yeah, Mandarin's his father. Like, yes, it's like, what if we could if we like, reverse engineer the whole cell of like, instead of it being a surprise, like let's just tell him that to get him hyped for it and just you know something massive going into it. It's like I don't know. It's like one of the few spoilers that works wonders. It's because it's the cell. It's great.
It is. It is. Jedi Knight suggests Pym particles to shrink down Fing Fang Foom. Oh God. Oh, I mean Jedi Knight by all means. Like I am perfectly willing to have a full blown any obscure details at Avengers Campus, like if Howard the Duck is in there somewhere, I will just die happy. there's definitely certain things about the Avengers campus I'm really hoping for. So
Oh,
we'll
you know
see
what
how
they
it
should do?
goes. What?
Real quick. Okay, so here's what they should do. They should have like pre-recorded stuff playing like a giant screen while people are getting the food,
Uh-huh.
and basically it's Luis like making a lot of the food,
Oh God.
like running the kitchen, and like
Yes, yes,
maybe him
yes.
and Michael Douglas bickering a little bit.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, Dragon. That's fucking beautiful, man. That's
You gotta put
beautiful. I love
strawberries
it.
on the pancakes, man. Come on. It's like, no, I'm not gonna put strawberries. You wombat. I'm not gonna put them on there.
Oh God. All right, so I think that about wraps it up, folks. Thanks to Atomic Beast and Jedi Knight for joining us in the comments. It's been a fun one, and yeah, see you later. And you'll never see us coming.
That's the onion rings.